Good afternoon. Outrage, Detroit. The ongoing saga of prohibiting Lubavitch meat at One Step Kosher continues. My secretary, Batya Dooley, Batya Williams, went to the sliced meat counter, deli meat counter, where you still cannot see Lubavitch Kashrut in packages, but you can only do so in special request only. And she was told by the man at the counter that this is the last month, he won't have to deal with this anymore, with a smile. So I called one of my friends at the Vaad, and I asked him, is this true? And the response he gave me was as follows, and this is why it's outrageous. I want you to listen. The outgoing head of the Vaad issued an order. Now you're going out of the Vaad. This should be something taken up by the rabbis of the Vaad. This should not be a single person making the decision. It's a Vaad HaRabbonim, not a dictatorship of Rabbonim. Let's forget about that for a moment. But what did he say? He said that the Vaad HaRabbonim of Detroit is not large enough to do its own research. Therefore, it is accepting the standards not of the CRC or the OU, it's accepting standards based upon the Star K. The Star K has issued a report that some of the Lubavitch Shor Habor shchitas are not good, and therefore they will no longer sell the Shor Habor product, or the chickens, or the smoked meat, the deli meat, or whatever might be associated with that, as long as the Star K prohibits this. Now I want you to understand something. The Star K is composed of many sincere Ehrliche Yidden. So are the people who man the shchita and the hashgoche of Crown Heights Kosher Lubavitch meat. The Rabbonim who oversee that are quite competent. They're big Talmidei Chachamim, Ehrliche Yidden. I know them personally. The Shochtim, Lubavitch Shochtim, were known to be the best Shochtim in America, at least in my time when I was in yeshiva. In Montreal, the Vaad Ha'ir, the main Shochtim were Lubavitch Yidden, Heish Getzeitlin, Belva Morozov, Zalman Morozov, Olav Hasholim. These people were the best Shochtim, the best Bodkim, maybe in North America. Kansas, there was Tzemach Gurevich and others. They were known as the best Shochtim. I heard from the Narola Rov, who was my Rebbe for a year, more than a year, that the best Shochtim were Zil and Yisrael Shimon Kamlis and Nazil Chazanov. These were the best Shochtim. That's what the Narola Rov, who was the Rov of Bells, told me personally. To say that the Lubavitch Shochtim somehow or other in the last generation became not Yirei Shemayim, I don't believe. So today I got the report that a certain Rav from the Star K went and he was Vedic the Chalofim in the chicken area in Shor Habor in Postville, and there was a problem, they couldn't fix the problem. Okay, that happened 2 years ago. The Rabbonim were not appraised of this problem, and I'm not saying that the Eidos is Eidos Sheker, but the edus leaves a lot to be desired. Let me explain to you why. Besides Lubavitch overseeing the shochtim is Rav Weissmandl. His son is there and he checks the chalofim. The Satmar Yigalite come and do a shchita there, as does the OU. And they check the chalofim. It's the same shochtim on that line. It's the same people on the line, basically. If there was any problem with the chalofim, this would have come out with Satmar, with the OU, with Weissmandl. If there was any sheikhet that was a problem, this would have been reported. So what I'm saying to you is, there's something wrong with the report. Either we're missing information. What exactly was the problem? If a sheikhet had a chalif that had a nick in it, and he was shechting with it, that sheikhet is not allowed to shecht. I don't care if he's Lubavitch Rebbe himself. Chas v'sholom, the Rebbe would never do that. But I'm saying, a sheikhet who shechts with a chalif that is not 100% kosher, that has any nick on it, cannot be a sheikhet. It's Michael Nevelis to Yidden. I don't care who the person is, I don't care his yichus, I don't care how much he's learned. He has no Yireh Shamayim, he's not allowed to be a sheikhet. To say that there is a problem, and no one else has caught that problem in all of these years. No one from Weissmandl, no one from the OU, no one from Satmar, no one from Lubavitch even. I want to tell you something. There was a report, I heard the details of the report from Rav Fegelstock from South America, from believers in Buenos Aires. And he came and he saw the shechita. And his report, I heard the Rashi Prokim of the report, and I specifically asked, what about the Chalofim? The Chalofim were much better than others. In other words, there are similar lines of shechita in the plant. The Lubavitcher Yigalite, their shechita, their Chalofim were much better than the others. That was the report. In fact, Rav Fegelstock had a wedding recently, and he ordered that his meat should be from the Shur Habor because of what he saw at his own child's wedding. So I asked the question, if there is a problem, why didn't the Star K, if you know that there's a sheikhet that is not up to par and his chalif is not good, how do you not say something to the people in charge? How do you allow that this sheikhet should give chickens, shechita, to hundreds or thousands of people? Doesn't it bother your conscience? Just to say that the shechita is not up to your standards, that's not good enough. You should have told the people in charge to check that person's chalif. That's number one. Number two, it is impossible that in all of this time, it's gone back 2 years now, since that time, the OU has been there, Satmar's been there on, I don't know, weekly, monthly basis. Weissmandl comes to check the chalofim. He's one of the greatest authorities in kashrus in the world. Lubavitch themselves have a Rabbi Klein, Yankee Klein, and others who come to check the chalofim. I was told by Beto Levitov, he was on the line, he checked the chalofim, they were perfect. He checked them before, during the shechita, after the shechita. He checked them while they were preparing the chalif, at the time of the shechita for each one, and then after the shechita. Checked the chalofim. They were all perfect. I do not know what the Star K is saying, but I do know this. If I had found something that was not right, I could not be quiet about it. I would have to tell the appropriate places to take care of it, because there may be something wrong in their hashgocha and what they give. You can't have it on your conscience. How do you go away and say, well, I didn't see it, I don't recommend the shechita because of what I saw, and I didn't tell anybody. And if you told someone, I can't believe you told someone, because when I called Rabbi Levertov that they're still giving problems to Lubavitch Shechita. Levertov is the representative of Kashrut for the Crown Heights Hersher. He thought there were no more problems in Detroit. No, the problems are even worse. They still can't put the Lubavitch chickens through the machinery, and they're not going to sell the deli meats, and who knows what else they're going to do. They're going to start with Shara Bor, wind up with David Elliott, and they will prohibit all of Lubavitch meats. That's what's going to happen. Under the guise that we can't investigate on our own, we have to go by the Star K. The Star K was irresponsible. The Star K was irresponsible because if there's a problem, you identify the problem, you bring it to the attention of those people there and let them deal with that problem. I cannot believe that an Erlich Yid, who is a Rava Machshir, would allow a Sheikhet who has a Pgima and a Sakin and he can't fix it to shecht again. I can't believe that. Number one. And number two, since they didn't tell the Crown Heights section, and they didn't allow any kind of verification, they engaged in Lashon Hara of the worst kind. Lashon Hara kills everyone who comes in contact with it. In this case, Lashon Hara is killing the Vaad Rabbanim of Detroit, and it's also killing the Lubavitch Yidden who want to have Lubavitch Shechita, who can't buy it. Let me make this myself very, very clear. I will not buy any other Shechita in this town unless it's Lubavitch Shechita, and I will lobby anyone who is from Lubavitch to only buy Lubavitch Shechita, and if the Vaad Rabbanim will prohibit Lubavitch Shechita from being sold, if they will prohibit Lubavitch Shechita from being sold, I will make a boycott on One Stop, and I will decide what to do about the Vaad and my membership in the Vaad afterwards. But this cannot stand. This is a capitulation to Lashon Hara, and we cannot, and I'm asking fair-minded people to see if what I'm saying is correct. You're welcome to call Postville. 80% of the chickens in Postville are under Lubavitch Hersher. 80%. In Detroit, it's less than 10% of what we get from Postville. You get Aaron's, not Lubavitch. But 80% nationally goes through Lubavitch because people want Lubavitch. How is that possible? The main customer for meat from Postville is Lubavitch. The main shechita that is made there, that is sold nationally, is Lubavitch. How is it possible that Weissmandl, who is responsible for the entire plant, will allow a line that takes up 80% to have shochtim that are no good? It cannot be. It's impossible. And therefore, this is just Lashon Hara, Rechilas, Motzi Shemra of the worst kind. This is something that shall not stand, will not stand, cannot stand, and I'm asking for people to stand up and not allow this to happen in our holy city. Thank you.